Oh, awesome. Do you want my reacher? Welcome to our Select Board meeting for June 2nd. Aaron and I are both here, and Dave Bauer is away. He'll be away this meeting and next Monday's meeting as well. We'll start out with the town clerk report. Are you ready for that?
Yes.
Okay.
I just wanted to give you the updated
Yep,
warrant.
no problem.
Because we did add the auditor and IT services, moving some stuff around. So that is the updated warrant. I emailed it to you as well with all the invoices.
Okay, yeah, this is great.
Stuff. Okay. All right. So, to start, nomination papers for elected municipal positions are available now at the clerk's office. The signatures and nomination papers are due back to my office by July 7th to be considered to be on the ballot. We did talk briefly, very briefly, on some transfers, moving some stuff around during the workshop. I'd like to have some time for the select board to kind of finalize transfer decisions. I know you can't make decisions, but, you know, understand what we're seeing and what we want to move on the general accounts and also the ARPA reserve account. So we're in good shape for Monday, so we all understand each other, and maybe it can be some decisions made, and we move the money, or whatever.
Okay.
So we can move forward for year end.
Okay.
So I
We've
don't
been
know what time works for you all, but
On Thursday,
Thursday,
2:30, we start our
2:30?
workshop? I'm good with that.
for like a half an hour, or
Yeah. As
Want to
long,
block off the whole hour, just to
Yeah.
be sure?
yeah.
to be safe, that would
Yeah.
be great.
Yep.
Probably won't take the whole hour, but
Nope.
at least we can get.
Yeah, we don't have
things
anything
going.
right now, so.
Right.
Excellent,
Yeah.
okay, great. The town office will be closed Wednesday, June 11th. Renee and I are attending our children's middle school graduation, so we will not be here on June 11th. The clerk's office will be closed. Is Debbie going to be here, or?
She said she wasn't.
She is not, so the whole office will be closed, June 11th. And June 19th, Thursday, we will also be closed because that is a federal holiday, that is Juneteenth. So, I did want to talk a little bit about a quote I received from Cardinal Printing. We had kind of talked a little bit off the side about getting the town report printed. It would be probably a lot more faster, more efficient, and cheaper in the long run. We only do a few copies in between waiting on people and our other work, and just kind of wanted to see what kind of costs we were looking at to get it professionally printed. And this is just one of them from Minuteman Press in Denmark. This is the company that the town of Baldwin uses, and they actually budget for it. They get a town report printed for every single resident and business, and so everybody is getting this for it. And they also reserve a small number for the office to have in case anybody else wanted any. So the price for a town report is $2.79, considering it was 100 pages. And I sent you the quote, and you can kind of look at that. I don't know what your feelings are. If that's a big number for this year, after it's not budgeted at all, so not really for this year, but if you wanted to consider that maybe for next year, or get some more quotes, I can do that. Or do we want to spend a couple $100 to get some printed for this year? We definitely do have a budget for that.
To get I think getting a couple more quotes would be good.
Okay,
Yep.
that's fine.
I do.
Yeah.
What about getting a few printed for this year? Is that?
Well, we could do, I mean, this is just the quote assuming every town report for every single resident.
Right.
Okay, and maybe
1,100 copies,
wow, okay.
basically. So,
I'm hesitant to,
we can, oh no, it's just
Yeah.
something to look at,
Yeah.
at least we know what it, costs.
Right.
It is expensive, Baldwin really likes it, they put it in the budget, and they vote on it every year, and they love getting that in the mail. They don't have to, everybody gets the same information, so.
But this would be something we'd be budgeting for next year anyway.
Right,
Right.
right.
This isn't something that's gonna happen in the next 30 days.
Right.
But if you wanted to look at something like this for getting a few copies made this year, so we don't have to do it in-house, we probably have the money for that. Because just doing a few copies probably wouldn't hurt. I think we probably did 80 to 100 copies last year, as much as we could. Again, we just do it back and forth. And
You saying aside from doing this?
no, I'm saying we print in the office.
They print them in the office here.
Okay.
Yep.
And reproduce the town reports and bind them and can them out. That's
Gotcha.
how people get town reports. They only put the PDF online.
No, I mean, I like this idea.
Yep.
Like I said, misunderstanding.
So this is just food for thought, kind of
Yeah.
like just information. But on the second thing is, do we want to look at getting them printed so the clerk's office doesn't have to do it?
Like maybe
or-
just getting 100 printed this
Right.
year instead of 1,100, or, you
Right.
know, we have 1,700 people in this town.
I mean, I
yeah.
hate it when people show up and it's like, we're getting there, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
we
Yep.
can't give them out fast
Oh, I
enough.
know,
We can't
I've
make them fast
I've
enough.
helped you bind them and.
Yeah, by the time everything's ready for it too.
Yeah.
With everything else on your guys' plate, you guys shouldn't be doing that. So yeah,
Yeah, of
I'm
course it's
on board
good.
with that. But yeah, I mean, I think we should look into this and see, get a couple more quotes, get an idea.
Okay. I don't mind reaching out to different companies to see what they cost for.
Sure.
I mean, Debbie just got those, these done, right? From
Staples, yeah.
Yeah, we'll
Staples,
see what
yep.
Staples costs.
There's a
maybe it's
printer in
worth it.
Cornish, I don't know if you want to look at local,
Absolutely.
I think
Yeah.
so, at the Inkwell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep,
Um,
budget it, put it in the
There
budget
is
line
some
item.
money in the admin, a few $100 for producing the town reports, so.
Yeah. So we'll when we go to do the budget for next year, we'll
Yeah.
keep that in mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
And-
the way I read this, so it's the top two jobs. It's an either or.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Right. It's either coil bound or saddle stitch,
Absolutely.
and then the bottom two are also needed.
It's if you want to mail them to every resident.
Right.
That's just the mailing service.
Which is
And just so
yeah.
people know, it's $149 to mail out 1,160 copies. It's 13 cents a town report. It's mass mailing type deal, so.
plus another $260, $680 for the postage. Right.
Oh, right, yeah,
Yeah,
sorry. I
okay.
didn't
Yeah.
see that, so.
No, I just want to make
Yeah.
sure that I'm reading it right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gotcha. Yeah, so it's saddle stitch is
The cheaper-
$1,300 cheaper.
Yeah, absolutely, yep. But just something to look at, and
Okay.
then we can definitely do it in our office. It's just we're not that efficient, and we can't get everything out at once, so. So yeah, that's where things are at. I did put the reserve account balances on your report there. It's a big warrant. I think it's what, 253,000 or something like that. So yeah.
Yeah.
Year end, we gotta keep, an eye on things, and also, once we finish up the transfers, I'd really like to dive into, looking at the budget. So that's in really good shape come July 1st. So,
I know the budget committee meeting, the budget committee is meeting on Monday the 9th.
okay,
Okay, just for kind of a meeting available. I think mostly letters that we're getting from
Yeah.
okay. Organizations that request money, so I know they're meeting on the 9th at 4,
yep,
so.
good deal. That's all I got.
Is that good?
Good.
All good? We've all seen the agenda for today, and, oh, geez, we have it online, so we didn't print any out. Wait a minute,
That's all right.
we can,
And print your phone stuff.
okay.
I didn't see them
Yeah, it just came to Aaron and myself, so, our agenda for today. Minutes from the last time we met, which was May 19th. I've had a chance, you've had a chance, Aaron, to look them over.
Yep.
Okay, all good with that?
Yeah, I didn't have any updates.
All right. pages. I still have my reacher.
That's all right.
Okay. Bills to be paid for the warrant. Like Daniel said, it's pretty big. It's $253,111.25. And that is our last payment to SAD 55 for the fiscal year, right?
And for melons.
And for melons. School money was $176,844, and melons, $20,000. Okay.
And the New Hampshire DOT invoice is on there as well.
Yes.
That was around 12,000.
Yeah, that is for the plowing that they did over the winter on that 2.34 mile stretch of 153 over by Province Lake. So, all good, all good. I think we had budgeted 15,000 for that, and the bill was 12,000 something, so,
Yeah,
yep.
which is surprising, because the year before it was 14, and we had a much milder winter.
The year before,
Right.
yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
yeah.
So I don't know what the rhyme or reason there is.
I don't even want to ask. And Danielle, when he's done with that, this all goes, okay, with it, just so we don't lose it.
Yep.
Unless, do you want to see any of these bills, Aaron? Any of these invoices?
No.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, you know what? She did print it out.
Oh.
Yeah. I'll put that in there.
Well, it was probably the one, oh, no, it's the minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Put it back in.
Nope.
Yeah.
Transfer over.
We're getting pretty good at stretching. All right, can leave that there for now too. So, bills to be paid, ads. I don't think we did. Well, did we have bid ads in this past week? No.
I believe so. Yeah.
Heating
There
and
should be.
stove.
There should be bid ads, and then the nomination paper. And then the ad for the office closure.
Yes.
Okay. So those are the ads we had. I see our bids. We did get an ACO report today from David Lonsby. He is our ACO. We don't have a deputy ACO. You know, I think I probably mentioned it before that I did re-email the gentleman that was interested over in Hob Swamp and still never heard back from him. Yeah. So, let's see.
Just a reminder too, there's a lot of appointments that expire June 30th that we'll have to consider reappointing or filling those.
Uh-huh. Yeah, there's the Piper Fund and
Your 911, your ACO.
EMA.
Code, everything.
Yep.
That doesn't really.
Right.
have to-
We had, let's see, from David Lonsby, livestock calls, dogs, cat calls, transporting to Harvest Hills, the 2 dogs barking, and he also did some training in South Portland with the ASPCA. So I think that's the only report we have for this meeting. Discussion items. Heating and stove installation bids were due today at 4. We have 2 of them. I'm going to let you open one, and I'll open one. How's that?
That'll work.
Yep. This says Warren Mechanical, Warren Avenue, Westbrook.
Warren Mechanical?
Warren,
Okay.
are you kind of keeping track of?
I just like to write it down.
Okay. Mechanical police provide pricing for the boiler replacement project. Pricing for above scope of work, $136,000 $6,000, $850. Pricing assumes the town of Parsonsfield will dispose of any fuel left in the oil tank, and it includes boiler being removed, a new high-efficiency condensing gas-fired boiler, hot water supplies, a high-efficiency gas-fired water heater, and fuel oil piping will be removed. Underground fuel oil tank will be removed, and propane gas piping extended from the generator to the building to feed the new boiler, water heater, and gas stove.
What company is that?
Warren, Warren Mechanical. They're located in Westbrook.
I have an estimate from Parsonsfield Heating and Cooling. It's pretty well broken down, but it's, so 3 total ideal 199,000 BTU boilers. Asbestos abatement, cook stove gas piping, removal of underground oil tank, trenching for the gas piping, underground gas piping, and boiler gas piping. So for a total of $50,465.79. The asbestos abatement, so the boilers is the exact price of the boilers. The asbestos abatement is an estimate. I know he came over 2 or 3 times to kind of check out. The underground oil tank, the $4,000 is an estimate, and then everything else is exact. So, you said that one was $136,850?
Yep.
And this one's $50,465?
And really?
For everything?
For everything? Removing, replacing, pipes, lines, installation?
Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah, you wanna look through, it kinda outlines.
Sure,
All the
I'll,
different-
yeah,
all the
I'll
different
pass you this one
pieces.
too.
Yeah.
I do think that, since we don't specifically say that we would be voting on anything today, I'd like to table it for further discussion, I think. Even if it means to talk to, Parsonsfield Heating and Cooling. That is such a huge difference in estimates.
Yeah,
$80,000?
well, I mean, you've got, one is a local person, and they're right, you know,
Mm-hmm.
right in town, the other one's coming from Westbrook. I don't know,
We did have another estimate come in online, and that was just so people know that was just for heating pumps only. They wouldn't remove the boiler, or we just kind of let that one slide.
Yeah.
It's not what we asked for. Does that other one give any kind of an estimate for asbestos abatement?
it does not call out,
Call it out specifically?
no.
Mm.
And we can certainly table it, I know David's not back for 2 weeks, but, I mean, given the vast difference in the two numbers. I mean, it's not,
It's,
Right,
it's
it's-
huge.
I don't know what information I would get that would,
I'm just hoping that his estimates are, I mean, asbestos abatement is pretty significant. Not the cost that he has, but just abating it is pretty, I'm hoping that his $3,000 is to be determined removal of all asbestos, does he
Right.
has to get somebody to do that? Did he?
He does.
Yeah.
yeah.
I think I'd like to talk to him just a little bit more about his estimated costs.
Yeah.
It's not like we're looking to do this, we have to do it sometime during the warm weather when they can dig,
Right.
but I think we have time.
Yeah, do we want to invite him in to discuss it during workshop?
Maybe after Dave gets back as well, so,
Yep.
yep. I would make a motion to table for further discussion in the future during a workshop. Have,
Okay. Do you want to, just because I want to get on his schedule too, do you want to do it during the workshop on the 16th?
yeah, I think we could do that.
Okay.
Yeah,
And I'll just send him a note.
yeah.
And then we can make a decision.
A resident from Parsonsfield works for Warren Mechanical, just so you're aware. I don't know if you want to have both contractors come in or not, but our resident.
Okay, maybe that's how they heard about it, and,
Yeah.
yep.
Just to be fair.
I'm gonna hand this back to you, so do you have one, just keep both on your desk, or?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep, I'll reach out to him. and-
Okay. Because Warren didn't really specifically put in there asbestos abatement, right? He didn't.
Right.
Right. Yeah, I think I have a few more questions.
Okay.
Okay. Next item is discussion of the auditor's invoice. Did we kind of figure out how that would be handled with the auditor's invoice and of $11.75 for
It's in
June?
your warrant.
Yep.
Yep, we did, so
Yep.
that's what we just
Yep, move some
finished.
money around, so we are avoiding a special town meeting.
Excellent. Excellent. Last time we met, we brought up the community action grant and the monies that we would be able to spend. It's a reimbursable grant, so whatever we spend is going to be given back to us. We talked about using a reserve account that we had, but we never formally approved that. And I think before we get the contract, we should just, so it's in our minutes that we approve of spending this money up front and getting reimbursed from the state. Does that make sense to?
Yeah, because it was just the initial amount, right? That we agreed to.
Right, because that would probably take us through until the end of this fiscal year, and then,
Yeah.
find another pot somewhere.
And what was the amount? 25?
24.4,
24.4.
yep, for the first, yep,
Yeah.
yep, so.
Now legally, I guess the question was, and Dave was saying it was in our town meeting warrant, that the selectmen can legally use the reserve funds without a town vote?
Yeah, I think that was Article 5,
Is that what
that's what we were basing it
the
on.
understanding is? Because everything else has been, to use the reserve money, we had to go to special town meeting or have a town vote to get that money out and into the general fund to use.
To see if the town will vote to authorize the selectmen to borrow from the dedicated town funds in anticipation of taxes, meaning that taxes would bring that money back into those dedicated funds. But we don't even need that to happen because it's going to be it's a reimbursable grant.
And it's from an account that,
That hasn't been
No
transferred,
longer.
no longer exists or
It's
used.
still there, it's
Right,
just dead,
right.
basically.
yeah.
I can't find any vote for closing that out. It's still there, alive, so.
Yeah.
Use that, and then we'd have to have a meeting to close it out at some point.
Once it's reimbursed.
Mm.
Yeah. So I'll make a motion that we utilize that fund to satisfy $24,400 for the first stage of the GoPIF Community Action Grant.
So it's a reserve account.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay.
And you might want to specify in the minutes exactly what reserve account it is.
Yep. York County Sheriff Reserve Account.
Yes.
So,
Okay, yep.
Very
York,
specific.
York County Sheriff Reserve.
for the
Account.
York County Sheriff Reserve account.
Specifically stated, and I will second that.
You could do them all in favor. You could do
All in favor?
What is the amount done?
Hopefully it's 24,400.
Yeah, 24,400, right.
I'm sorry, I
No.
didn't catch the actual.
24,400.
400, right. And
$24,400 to
Yep.
come out of York County Reserve into the general fund to pay out for the grant, and then it
Yes.
goes back in.
And
Yep.
then it goes back in.
Yep.
Yep.
And since we don't have the actual finalized contract in front of us, we'll deal with that.
So, taking it a step further, we can add this transfer along with the others for discussion on Thursday. Just-
Yep. Okay.
Just so we have all of them in one.
Yep.
And we
Yep.
know what we're doing. Okay. Excellent.
Sounds good. Do you want to bring up the Donald's request?
Yeah, so we received a request from a resident to utilize the town hall for function. It's for this coming weekend. We have not had a meeting since they had sent in. I had sent them back the information that we need and kind of explained the process, got some more information. Just before this meeting, Jen and I walked through the gymnasium to kind of see like sort of what were the immediate concerns with, kind of giving full access to the building to somebody. And so there are kind of a lot of security concerns. There's a lot of doors that can't be locked. There's a electrical box on one of the walls that's falling off. The kitchen can't be locked. The door in the back of the gymnasium can't be locked. So there are a lot of things that I think we need to do in order to have it be ready to be rentable. And so I think those are some things that we need to get on as quickly as possible so that we can have that be. But after seeing those, and especially the electrical box, just
Yeah,
that's a huge
yeah.
like concern.
I reached out to Keith Logan to have him come and take a look at it and take care of it, so.
Yeah.
That is something the safety officer, if we had one, that's another appointment that we need to make takes care of this building and would have seen that, and,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah, I think sort of the grander scheme of things too is we need to look at like the access, like the entry access, so that we can get, whether it be like, codes that people can enter so that so we don't have to have somebody come and let somebody in
Open up
and out
and
every time. That
lock
we can
up.
give, we've got the security cameras now set up, they're always on, but yeah, the electrical box is a concern if you're gonna have 50 to 75 people in here. So I would vote that we don't allow anyone to use the facility until those concerns
Are addressed
are
and taken
addressed,
care of.
to rent the facility until those concerns are addressed.
I think from a liability standpoint, that we should do that,
Yeah,
yeah,
so
yep,
I will, I'll reach out to Dana Kinn and let them know
okay,
that, what we found and basically that we wouldn't be able to do that. Yeah, I just, in good conscience, couldn't let somebody,
It's not liable.
yeah.
right, I agree.
All it takes is one kid to walk over there and stick their finger in.
Uh,
and, yeah,
don't even say it.
it's- Yeah,
Mm-hmm,
so I'll reach out to them and let them know that, just our concerns, and we're not able to do that at this time for anybody, and we're gonna get it fixed and hopefully be able to
yep,
open it back up.
sounds good, sounds good. And sorry about the inconvenience, because, they were looking at Father's Day, right, so it's kind of coming up,
Yeah, timing wise, it just, with
Yeah.
the holiday, it messed it up as well, because I think they sent the message the day after our meeting
Our
before
select-
the holiday.
yep.
And then, so we didn't have any meeting last week at all, so it's, yeah. been waiting to kind of get in front to get it approved, and then found those concerns today, so, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just give a couple of updates. Because the offices are closed on June 19th, that would be the day of their next Youthful Maine Food Pantry. And I'm still waiting to hear back if they want to reschedule it to another day. So just ahead of time, we won't be holding it that day. Maybe Wednesday, I don't know, I'll wait to hear. Let's see, I got an email from Maine Emergency Management and the Federal Emergency Management that our monies from the April 4th storm, you haven't seen them yet, have you? Have you seen a check
I
yet?
haven't seen
Okay,
anything
this
yet.
was,
It'll
they
be a
said,
direct deposit, yep.
yeah, the next couple of weeks in $88,725.42. So that'll be at least road money in some way, shape, or form. Not immediately,
We have to
Right.
talk about that
Yeah,
too,
what's another-
where all this FEMA money's gonna go,
yeah,
where it's supposed to go.
another topic of conversation.
Yes.
So let's see what else. We, and Aaron, feel free to chime in on this. We had a discussion about, we've had 3 applications for cannabis retail stores. One of them is for a cultivation facility as well. We will be discussing the applications and their completeness Monday, June, correct? And we will have more information about that to send out and let you guys know. But they will be discussed during the select board meeting.
Yeah, so we'll be reviewing them for completeness first. So just to give everybody, everybody out there, so they'll be reviewed for completeness, and be determined if they are complete or not. If they are not determined complete, then we'll be providing sort of what needs to be provided to make them complete. We can only do that check in a business meeting, so we'll be getting those. Once we have everything complete, we'll then be scheduling out for a public hearing. There'll be a public hearing, and then we'll be reviewing the application as a whole, so reviewing the content side of it, rather than just if we have what we need. It'll be reviewing the content, it'll be reviewing that, it'll be a public hearing where the public can come make comments, and we'll take those comments into account as well. And then I think it has to be scheduled within 60 days of determining to be complete. And then once we hold that public hearing, it's additional 45 days where we have to determine the application, whether it's approved, denied, approved with conditions, whatever the result is at that point.
And
And so that's sort of how the process is going to go. We got direction that we'll be processing and moving through applications in order of them being complete. So whatever.
And as in the order that they were received as well. We'll start with the order that they were received,
Yeah.
and then making a final determination in order of completeness. And in case anybody's wondering why are we having a second public hearing, this is because it's a licensing review and not a land use review.
Right.
So there we are.
Yep.
And anything you want to add to, for your updates?
We were approached by a couple that has a landscaping company
Oh, yeah.
that offered their services. They are looking to get into ball fields and field rehabilitation. And so they were looking to see about our field, what they could do for work, and getting the field back up into sort of playing. So looking at bringing in infield mix to put on the infield to get rid of all the weeds and
Level it out.
level it out. Spoke to a couple parents recently about doing the work to build dugouts.
Oh, wow.
Also want to look at fencing. So I'm not sure how far they're going to reach out to me and let me know. This couple is how far and what they're looking to do. If it's just the field side or if it's the entire process, but sort of looking to get that field back into playing shape, and so as we get work days, I'll let everybody know, and but you know, if we've got certain days where we're going to be building dugouts or putting fences in, or you know, we can let everybody know. But sort of coming along out there, it looks really good, but the weeds are inevitable and starting to come back in on the infield already.
Are they?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah, it's already,
yeah.
already turning back to grass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something that we should address too, I think, with the little T-ball guys is that we were open for, I think we were open for a public hearing that day, so they were coming in to use the bathroom. But more than likely, we won't be open when they're practicing, so I don't know what the rec council's plans might be. A lot of woods around, so,
Yeah.
yeah. For, just have to, you know, just something that they might want to think about.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the season goes for, you know, May and June really, that's
Is
kind
that
of
it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's certainly something that I think if we can get we'll work out on a recreation budget for next year. But
Yeah.
I think getting a porta potty, at least for those few months,
For this-
would make sense.
And maybe for the spring and fall, for
Yeah.
whatever, you know, whatever fall activity might go on, so.
Yeah.
Something. Okay.
But yeah, I think that's some good things happening, and moving towards getting that field more usable. And right now, it's only been used by T-ball, and I think if we can get it to where it's set up for Little League, you know,
Mhm.
it'll only make it so that field's used even more, which would be great.
Yeah.
I know a lot
Nice.
of people have really good memories about playing on that field.
Yeah.
so,
It was fun to see the kids come in.
yeah.
Yeah, it was cute.
And then I think that was it. I had continually making updates to the website, moving things around, and updating the calendar. So if you're ever wondering about what's going on, the calendar's being updated constantly. And if you see something that doesn't make sense, you can send an email to myself or anyone here, and we can make sure we get things corrected if you can't find something. I know the search function has actually been quite helpful.
Yeah,
I've used it several times myself to go and look back through old minutes for something or trying to find it out. So I know that has already paid dividends for myself in terms of time saving.
Scott.
How about the agenda? Typically, we can go online and see an agenda for at least a couple of days in advance of what's coming up. So there has been no agenda that's been posted several times in the recent.
Just for, which for,
For the select board.
oh, for the select board.
So usually they post it, you have to have it in, get on the agenda by Thursday for the next week's agenda, and usually there's an agenda, so say it's no problem, but I came here for this meeting because we didn't know where we were at on the applications.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was nothing posted, so we didn't know one way or another.
Well, for that particular item, we didn't know until we met with our attorney during the executive session. So we didn't know from a process standpoint either. So it wouldn't have been on the agenda either way. But the agendas are posted as soon as they're received. So it's a timing thing and getting them. You know, if we can get them a little bit quicker, then yeah, we can get them posted. But they're posted as soon as they're available.
Well, I had to go over the parse them anyway, so it's
Yeah.
no big deal.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
I know we usually do it on Mondays, post them on Mondays. I don't,
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Yeah, this one didn't get posted until I was here, so it was
Yeah.
after, it was after 4.
No big deal. And that poor Desiree, she's overloaded with work, and many requests that we put in for information, but she does her best, bless her heart. Is there any chance of getting Chris's updated lease that he had to submit to the planning board?
That would be the planning board
would have
issue,
to
yeah.
provide
Ask
that.
them directly? I mean,
I would ask them,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we're not involved with that piece of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the lights, my sister's gonna be here soon.
Oh, okay.
Another week or two, so will Mark. So they got a whole list of things they wanna start to tackle. A lot of consultations with VSERP.
Yes.
Great. They're, I think, can work out really well for helping us move forward.
Mhm.
And then you had some information, I wanted to reiterate that, from CMP on the streetlight. Was it, that,
Yeah, CMP sends us the bill, but they don't repair or fix those lights. There's 4 of them, 2 that are on our side of the bridge and 2 on Porter's side. It's not CMP who would come out and do any work on it, it's the town's responsibility. Because we own the lights, but CMP bills us for the hours.
gotcha.
Yeah, the
So-
DOT installed them, the town, it's our responsibility.
I've heard in the past, from other selectmen years past, well, they don't wanna fix the one on the bridge because there's a gash in it.
I saw that, I
Yeah.
saw the gash, yeah.
And I was wondering, well, we were wondering if we could replace that gash one, if it is an issue. Was the one that's in front of the Stanley Building. This is a hypothetical, you don't give me an answer on it, because this is something we're gonna pursue, we'd like to see how. We've been approved by Saco River Corridor for a deck on the side of the Stanley Building.
Hmm.
And DOT said we could build, for as they're concerned, right up to the line. They have no issues. So it got passed through the planning board. And so it's that light that's there.
What are you asking for? You want the light removed? Is that what you?
Removed, we'd like to put a softer ornamental,
Uh-huh.
old-fashioned one there if we could.
Uh-huh.
That's our, and then if that light was available, that pole, which is in perfect shape, it could be replaced with the one on the bridge.
Why don't you put that all in an email?
Yeah,
And send
we
it?
will.
Okay.
Yeah, because we'd have to get DOT
Yeah,
involved, because it'd be
exactly.
the amount of light would be a potential safety concern with the crosswalk there.
They put up the new LEDs there.
Yeah,
Yep.
right, but I'm saying if we're switching out a light pole for one that's an ornamental light.
I think we'd have to look at where
Yeah,
the
well,
other
We
lights
have to
are.
make sure that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sure. But the light's been out for years, so there's no light in it.
Yeah,
It
that's,
doesn't work.
that's why CMP didn't replace that one. Because I asked them to replace all the ones in the village, and that one they didn't, because,
Yeah.
and then it took a while to find out, okay, well, who really does own that one, whose
Right.
responsibility, so.
So the town owns that light. And then,
Let's say it has responsibility for
and
it.
then how about the one on the bridge? I mean,
Town as well, town as well.
Okay, Parsonsfield or
Yeah,
Porter?
Parsonsfield.
The one right in the middle?
Yep.
That will insert back and forth.
Yeah, no, because actually the town line is beyond that, so. It's on the other side of the John Calvin Stevens house there on the island, so, yeah.
That, for safety and everything else, it would be really nice to have that light in the middle of the bridge. A lot of times, that's where the rummies, I call them the rummies, the zombies
I
like
thought that
hang
light-
out.
I thought
where
that
it's
light was
really,
working.
Really dark. No, it doesn't work for years.
Okay, I know the one by Stanley Building hasn't, but I
Yeah,
thought that
doesn't
one was.
work, and the one in the middle of the bridge. The thing is, the zombies, they love it that it's not there, and that's where they congregate.
Well, if you put that all in an email, I think
Yeah,
that would be, yeah. I did speak with Cy Coffey today from MESER.
Oh,
Yeah, because he was, he wanted to know about the town's involvement, and we decided, and this was on the advice of our attorney as well, that until cannabis licensing is complete and finished, that we don't really want to give any sense of impropriety of being involved with groups that are all kind of blending together in terms of what everybody
Oh, I
wants.
understand, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, so Cy and I had that conversation today, and I'm sure you'll find out when you meet with him as well. But, yeah, we have a couple more items here. A personnel policy that we want to continue working on.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were.
Nope, we're not quite done yet. A workshop to discuss health insurance for the road crew. I think that's particularly one of the road crew. Discuss the CEO mileage and cell phone reimbursement. bid openings, we have bids coming in on the 16th for solid waste. And I think we have a couple already. Bulky waste pickup, June 13th, white goods, June 27th. And anything else, Aaron, to add to any of that, or we're all good?
No, it should be good.
Okay. Are you all set, Scott, or?
One more question. On the parking lot, the town parking lot,
Yeah.
after the snow has melted, it's a mess over there.
What do you mean a mess, like
just
sand?
the sand, debris, sticks, pine cones, dirt, gravel, at the far end. It's no big deal.
Oh, at the far end, yeah. Huh.
So, I mean, I volunteer to clean it.
Well, I know Maya had a,
They have a machine,
yeah, they had a
it's
street.
large area.
Well, they had a street sweeper here. They did our parking lot, and they did the village area as well. So I'll text Maya and see
No big deal.
if he's aware of that
Just curious.
area of the parking lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the state did Elm Street too.
Yes,
Yeah.
I did. I saw them go by. So,
Yeah.
Yep. Pretty fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can text Maya and see what's going on with that.
Is Maya paving Hop Swamp Road?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, it's rolled and everything. Is he
Yeah,
gonna
I
be
think-
paving before the end of the year at all, or?
Well, I hadn't heard
No?
Hob Swamp. I'd heard it's down in the village, Hillside, I believe. I'd heard something about that. But I have to ask him a specific plan. I know we talked about village streets, but I'd never heard him say Hob Swamp. Yeah,
Other than money left in paving.
Yeah.
So,
unless they just graded it and raked it out. It's possible.
he had roll around, so I assume
Oh,
he was paving.
interesting.
That's not-
Okay.
Okay.
Yep. All good? I'll
All good.
entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor? All right.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.